Joining us now, Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, who got a shout out from President Trump today. I was watching every minute of it at the White House. Senator, howling hysterically these Democrats are and fighting mightily to make sure they can continue to abuse their power and spend our tax dollars on overseas coups, regime change, terrorists, and sex changes in Guatemala. And that's just USAID. They always give themselves away.
You know, Dagan, I think President Trump said it very clear today. We hope the Democrats actually stay down this path because they're going to keep losing elections. They're absolutely tone deaf to the American people. The American people overwhelmingly chose President Trump by popular vote and electoral college, not even close, that they wanted change and they wanted the government to start working for them and get rid of the ridiculous DEI left woke agenda. And then they had to pick a villain, and their villain's Elon Musk. God forbid the most successful entrepreneur in the world right now would come in as a consultant and look through the waste and fraud inside the American government. Wow. Why wouldn't we do that? There successful companies all across the United States and all across the world hire consultants. We absolutely have the best that can come in and help lead the way, because you can't lead this up to politicians to do it, because every time we cut something, we're cutting someone's jobs that honestly is in our district. But if we allow a consultant like Elon to come in and make these suggestions, by the way, he can see it from an unbiased perspective, we can actually start saving taxpayer dollars and get the government back on track, working for the American people.
But, Senator, I'm just wondering what they hope to accomplish. I mean, their charges are so absurd. Congressman Dan Goldman, put out an expo saying, make no mistake, Elon Musk owns Donald Trump and is calling the shots. Now, anybody, any American, not even people in Europe who saw what President Trump was during his first term, who saw during this campaign him stand up to an assassin's bullet, knows that he is nobody's man, that he is his own man, and that he calls all the shots. So we all know this, and yet they scream this with hysteria, thinking they're going to convince people over to their side. That ain't going to work.
David, this is nothing but a bunch of Democrats auditioning to be the nominee for the presidency for the Democrat Party in 4 years. They have nobody left. I mean, think about it. They try to force Biden, who couldn't even complete a sentence, to run for president. Then they try to resurrect Hillary, who was absolutely awful. So they have to go with someone that had no chance of winning, Kamala Harris. And so there's nobody there. And that's what you're seeing with even Senator Murphy out there. You're seeing it from Al Green. You're seeing it from everybody out there that's on the Democrat Party thinking that, hey, this is my opportunity to advance. And they're moving towards the left because that's where their base is. And they've got to win their base, but they can't win the American vote that way, just their base. But that's all this is about, because it's absolute lies, and the American people have seen it. We saw this play out 8 years ago, and they haven't learned a single thing.
Nope. Every finger point, every shriek and shout, the American people know that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are saving a dollar. Even if it's $1, it is a dollar that got taken out of somebody's pocket that they worked hard for. And you mentioned President Trump came close to death from an assassin's bullet. And when you've got nothing to lose, this is what you do for the American people. I want to move on, Senator. We're not even 3 weeks into President Trump's second term, and there is already another attempt or suggestion at impeachment. This time it's from Democrat Congressman Al Green. Listen to this.
I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done.
I think he's referring to what the president said about Gaza.
Yeah, but Dagan, I kind of remember that the Constitution says that the only reason to impeach the president is for treason, bribery, and high crime. I didn't know dastardly deeds done and dastardly deeds proposed was one of those. It is absolutely laughable. I mean, third time's a charm, I guess. I don't even know what to say here, but it's so ridiculous because they can't go after his policy because guess what? His policies are working for the American people. They can't go after the fact he wants to get the government working for the American people again. They can't go after the fact he wants to cut taxes for the American people. He can't go after the fact that we're respected around the world again and that America is leading from the front again. I mean, so what can they actually go after except make up something this ridiculous from a congressman that knows better?
The good thing is that right now the people in charge are folks who've been there before. They did it during the first term. They know how cover-ups happen. They know how to dig deep and where some of the secrets are buried. Like, for example, just throwing this out there, what happened to that $184 billion? Some people say it was over $200 billion. During the COVID, all these COVID bills that went to the department, went to K through 12 education. What happened to that money? It hasn't done a thing for test scores for our kids. In fact, the test scores keep going down. I mean, things like that. We're going to be able to find out, for example, whether or not some of that money was diverted directly into the pockets of the teachers' unions or stuff like that. This is the kind of thing that the folks working for Elon Musk are going to be digging up, no?
It's absolutely what will happen, but also President Trump knows that if you put responsibility closer to the source, meaning just use the Department of Education, for instance, if you put it closer to the source, put it back in the school board's hand, put it back in the cities and the local government that actually has kids in the school system, they're going to hold that school more accountable. When you think a Department of Education in Washington, D.C. is going to try to use a one-size-fits-all approach, and make schools better across the country. When I first got up here, when they encouraged me to move my 6 kids to Washington, D.C., which was never going to happen, the first thing they told us was do not send your kids to public schools in Washington, D.C. Now, this is the same place that Department of Education is located, and they can't even get it right in their own backyard. So now how are you going to trust them to do that across the nation?
Before we go, so the Democrats are holding an all-nighter on the Senate floor, showing their opposition to the nomination of Russell Vought to run the Office of Management and Budget. God bless them. Not really.
Yeah. Never going to happen. We're going to confirm him tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with or without the support of the Democrats. They can sit there and throw their tantrum if they want to. At the end of the day, we're delivering the nominees of that President Trump has put forth. And then, by the way, we're going to move on to next week, and we're going to get Tulsi Gabbard confirmed. We're going to get Bobby Kennedy confirmed. We're going to get Kash Patel confirmed, and we're just going to keep moving down the list. Leader Thune has done a phenomenal job setting a pace that we haven't seen since before Obama was in office. This time last year, this time 8 years ago, we're twice as far down the road with nominees than President Trump's first term and with Biden's term in office.
Well done. Senator Markwayne Mullin, a pleasure to see you, sir. Thank you very much.
David, thank you. I'm on. Deegan, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Or Dagan,
Shout out
Dagan,
today.
sorry.
See, I can't top the President Donald John Trump shout out at the White House. Good to see you.
He's a good man.
Good to see you.